another episode of Cosmic Conversations. I am your host, Marla Martenson, and I am with a fascinating guest today. Her name is Christina Rasmussen, and she is an acclaimed grief educator and the author of 2 books, Second Firsts and Where Did You Go? After losing her 35-year-old husband to cancer, Christina's overwhelming grief spurred her to locate the afterlife in order to reconnect with her husband. A skeptic of conventional, mystical, and religious descriptions, Christina instead draws on basic principles of brain science and quantum physics to explore those other dimensions. So she has this proven step-by-step guide to visiting the other world, and it allows us to experience the afterlife, discover a deep sense of peace, and to be with our lost loved ones. I'm so excited that you're here, Christina. Welcome!
Hi Marla, thank you for this awesome introduction. I wanted to say that, and to everyone who's watching and listening, that I'm the most regular, normal, basic human being that experienced a tragedy very young. And Marla, when it happened, I was so devastated and so distraught by it that I was so confused. I didn't know the pain that I was experiencing in my heart. And having your 35-year-old husband be here one day and gone the next, I was shocked. Like, how is it possible? And to see death up close for the first time. I was 34 at the time. We had 2 babies. 9-month-old. When he was diagnosed, my daughters were 9-month-old and 2.5 years old. When he passed, 4 and 6 years old. And to have them witness this, and myself witness it, and he's here one day and gone the next. Yeah. And Marla, I couldn't believe that. How come the world is not doing anything about understanding this better? How come we're so afraid of going there at all? And I got my life back together. I over the years remarried. It's been 12 years now. I'm 46 years old. I love saying my age. I'm so happy to be alive. Yes. It's a good thing. He wished he could say that age as well. He's not here. And in the last 12 years, I got my life back together. I created processes and programs, helped thousands and thousands of people. And then there was only one question, truly, that remained, not just for me, but for the people I helped. Like, what happens after we die? Seeing death up close and personal shook everyone that I've ever known. And I started diving into this world, and once you start going there is no turning back, Marla. You know this.
I know. I'm in there. I went down the rabbit hole.
That's why and I realized that's why they say it like this, because I'm not coming back.
Right.
This is it, you know?
It's so exciting. So after he passed, you decided to go find him. So tell us what happened.
At first, actually, I have to be honest and say the things I was experiencing were very scary. A lot of sounds and signs, and my house felt haunted, to be honest with you. I was afraid to go to bed at night. I had all the lights on, bathroom lights, TV lights, everything was on. And I remember thinking to myself, why does it have to be so scary to connect with him? I read at the time, but then I had to get my own physical life back together first. So I let it go for a while. I literally, because life was called, I had to find my way back. And then years later, I started delving in and going deeper and deeper, and I discovered worlds that are invisible, that I know you know, Marla, ways of living life that are even better than not going there. I went to find out death, and I discovered life. I discovered life. Death is a gateway. That's why my book begins with a doorway, gateway. It is an opening to a different dimension. It is a very different way to look at and perceive our existence.
So that other dimension where everyone is, it's right here, isn't it? It's not like people look up into the sky, and but it's not up there, right? Isn't it?
It's a very good question, and actually, the book, the way I wrote the book and the way I wrote the process, I'm trying to cheat the brain and tell the brain that it has to go anywhere. It doesn't have to go anywhere. We don't have to go. We don't have to travel anywhere. But when we cheat the brain and say to the brain, you're going to have to go through an opening of some kind, a doorway, just like as if you're leaving one room and you go to the other. I actually really fought that opening a lot, and I had a dream that night, the night before I was about to really introduce it. Not, I was doing this work before, but to introduce it to the class, and I was fighting it. It's not an opening. It's not an opening. It can't be an opening. It's so simple. How could it be an opening? And I had this dream, and basically that dream showed me an opening, a doorway, and the energy and the magnetism, best way I can describe it, that was coming from beyond that doorway. And then I woke up, and I'm like, okay, we're going with that. We're going to go with that. This is it. When I took people through the doorway for the first time, I didn't expect them actually to meet their loved ones immediately. The journey allows the brain to let go of this reality with every step that you take.
Okay.
So it shouldn't have happened immediately.
Right.
But it did. They were all waiting there, and they came back and they said to me, Christina, were we supposed to see them already? And I said, tell me, what did you see? Yeah. Who did you meet? How was it? And the stories were absolutely extraordinary. I mean, I was sitting there, goosebumps, chills. I didn't know. I was ready to, if it wasn't going to work out with others, I was gonna not write the book. I was gonna just move away from this.
Well, yeah. So you did a lot of study about the brain and quantum physics and how it works and how we don't see certain things because we don't think. The brain is programmed to not.
So the way it works from a quantum mechanics point of view is that our brain receives light, and it translates that light into an image which is holographic.
Okay.
So when we die, this is not my theory, this is what the scientists believe.
Okay.
And when people don't know this, it upsets me. Everyone should know this, Marla, right? You should know this is how so if you even Google holographic principle study, early 2017, there's a study that was done to prove that is true. So for anyone who wants to do further research on this, buy the book called Holographic Universe, Google holographic principle and universe, and you'll see so much data on this. But the brain takes light and translates it into a hologram. So when someone dies, they only die in our holographic reality and not in theirs.
Wow.
There's actually someone called Robert Lanza. You should have him on your show, Marla.
Okay.
He's a physicist. He's a real deal. And when he said something like, when we die in the reality of our family and friends. He didn't say it exactly like this, but very close. But we continue in our own awareness.
Yes.
But we can't see them because they're not projecting their experience in a holographic way because their physical matter has been destroyed. It's gone. Matter and energy, as you know, is the same thing.
Right.
It's exactly the same. Just physical matter vibrates in a faster frequency, so that's why it looks solid. But it's exactly the same.
So, yeah, and our eyes can't see that, but like animals, I think, I see my dog always looking around the room and sometimes looking up. And I know she's looking at someone. It's just the way, and then every day she's looking around. I think do you believe that?
I don't know exactly, but I'm sure others might say that they see more younger children. Mm-hmm. 1, 2-year-old kids, babies they
can see too. They're looking around too. Yes,
because they're more connected to that that light and that vibration. Another thing that I discovered is that we are actually vibrating streams of light. We are like this, Marla. This situation that we have going on here is not real. It's not. This is not. This is science. This is not even like, oh, here we're talking about it in a spiritual way. This is a hologram. Just like I'm seeing you on my computer screen right now.
Yeah.
And I think you're there, but you're not in this room.
Right.
This is the way we're projecting our image in reality.
Yeah, it's fascinating. So also in your book you say people wait for a visitation from their loved one, but really they're waiting for us to go there, not they're coming here.
You know what I see in my temple world now?
What?
Marla, thousands and thousands of people who have passed holding the book in their chest, waiting.
Wow. Holding this book?
It's like this, yeah. It's like literally like this.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, what is this? What is it? What does this mean? So there's 5 steps, and as you go further and further, the final step is the field.
Okay.
It is the quantum field, and that's where I see them. And my translation of it, because we translate, right? Even the channels translate.
Yeah.
Like we're translators of what the messages are. My message when I see that is that they want people to connect with them.
Mm-hmm.
When the first group went through the first time through that new vibration and they came back, these were not, by the way, the people who did my first class were very logical, scientific driven, regular folks. I've done other classes that were not like this with me. So they were like, okay, Christina, we know you're not crazy. We're going to come. But just
try
so
it for you.
It sounds a little strange to us, but fine. But we will tell you the truth with what we find. They actually said to me they didn't think they were going to experience anything. And then when they went there, it was so immediate. And there were those people, not everyone saw. So I also want to say it was a percentage for both classes. Let's say the first 2 classes altogether had about 120 folks. I would say out of the 120, let's just use those numbers, 60 or 70 will have an immediate experience. Immediately. Some of them, the rest of the group will have an experience, but they will question it. And they'll say, am I imagining this?
Right.
And then there will be about a 10 to 20%, 15% that can't see anything at all. They actually see darkness. They see nothing.
What do you think that is? The brain just won't be tricked, or
so when we project our reality, and I'm sure you teach a lot of law of attraction as well, a lot of the belief system, the mindset. When we project a hologram out or we are experiencing things, they actually go by a mindset and a belief. So when the people who were not able to see at first, they were very frustrated, by the way, because everyone else was experiencing this incredible moments.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like being in the first class, there were 5 or 6 people that could not experience it. And it was upsetting for me too. Yeah. And then, like, well, why not me? Why can't I see it, right? And I don't know. What do you think is the answer to that? I think there's, like, Sister Jen, I was interviewing with this incredible human being in the morning. She said to me, 90% of me believes in this incredible universe, and she obviously believes in higher power and God. But then there's a 10% that questions and doubts it, and maybe that 10% for some people is really more than 10%.
Yes, yeah. Well, it reminds me of when I was a few years ago. I was in a psychic development class, specifically channeling, and it was like 2-3 weekends or something. And then at the end, every one of us got up and sat in the middle and sat there and closed our eyes and were supposed to channel. And I was the only one who nothing came through. And then, but I was like, come on, are all these people really channeling? I mean, come on, and I'm the only one that can? Are they just faking it, or what's going on here? It was like, whatever. I was just like.
But more like, I think that I could have been you as well, because I refused this work so much. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to access it, and I think it's a decision we make sometimes. And some people, they're not supposed to experience it. Who are we to decide what's right for someone? Maybe there are people who would like to have access to this, but maybe it's best for them not to.
Yeah. Well, tell about this was so exciting, bringing something back.
Marla. Marla, you're going to promise me you're going to go through the whole journey.
I will. And do you do any meditations online and audio that people can do it? Can we order that and do it?
So we have. So the number one. So I have a class that we're actually giving before the December 18th. We're giving the class for free with 5 books. People buy 5 books, they get the class. It's a live video class that I guide everyone through this journey every week for 6 weeks. So we do that in the class, but we have recorded with a professional artist vibrations and sounds.
Okay.
Marla, you have to download them. If the link is in the book, you have to go and download the sounds when you do it.
I will do it today. I'm so excited.
And then the reason why I did not record my own voice on this, it was a very conscious decision. I want you, your mind, your consciousness to take yourself in this journey, not me.
Okay.
I should have had this big ego and say, I am the one, Marla, that can only do this, and you come to my classes and do this. No, the only reason why I wrote this is because I want you to be able to do this. And Marla, I don't normally share this with interviews, but I feel like I need to say this to you, and I want to say this. With opening this gateway, I actually am asking to communicate and connect in this safe environment. I wanted it to be safe. Not only that we are able to do it, but I wanted to be in control of this journey. And I wanted everyone to feel like they get to go and come back whenever they want to. Yeah. But the people who have gone didn't quite see it like this for me. And in my dream, in my sleep, when I'm sleeping, this has only happened 5 times, and I said, no, I don't want, this is not for me. I did not do this for me to be connected with someone else's person, or for them to, I don't want to be a medium or a psychic in this way. I don't want to.
You don't want to be James Van Praagh.
I don't. I do not, Marla. I wrote this book for education and for people getting further along this journey in their own experiences. So in my dreams, I actually have dead people trying to connect with me, and I wake up with fear. I just wake up.
Send them over to me. I do want to give messages for people. Say, go visit Marla.
Marla,
I'll talk to
this is what I'm going to do. I promise you. I actually told them after a while, I started to get more used to it, and I said, if you want to meet with me, come to the temple.
Yes. Okay.
And there was one woman
that
came, and I found her in the Temple of the Universities. That's the step before the last. And I walked into my temple, and there she was standing there. I didn't know who she was. The first time I looked at her, and it hit me in that moment in time. I said to myself, this is a person who belongs to someone else.
Wow.
And I tried to find her husband, actually.
Okay.
And someone reached out to me and said, we know who this is. But it's up to them if they want to come through. And I said, I just felt like if I did not disclose this information, like, who am I to stop the communication from others? But I said, if you want to come to me, you come there. Don't come when I'm sleeping.
Right.
And then I don't know if you read Tyler Henry's book. That's how his journey started.
Oh, yeah, I haven't read that yet.
They would come in his sleep, in the dream, and he would feel like he was having nightmares. And Marla, it is the weirdest thing to do. And I don't even care what people think about this, because this is a real experience from a person who's not crazy, who thinks scientifically. Like, I knew the people who were coming in there were dead, like, immediately. And as soon as I would see them, they would look at me, I would wake up.
Wow. Well, I had an experience one night where I was laying in bed, and my eyes were closed, and all of a sudden, I see some sacred geometry sometimes, like flashing around, and then I heard a song inside my head, in my ear. The song, like I must have connected. I thought, I must be connecting to some radio frequencies. Then I see, with my eyes closed, like through my third eye, these faces, and they were like, they turned their head like this, and one had a really long nose, and these profiles, and then I saw hands going like this, and I saw them, and it's like these people were trying to get my attention, and then they disappeared. And one other time, these were my most profound ones, and one other time I was laying in bed, just kind of, I guess, dozing off, and in my left ear, there was like a bunch of people talking, like, ah, and it sounded kind of like scary, because and then it freaked me out, and I shook my head, and they left, and then I was like, damn, come back, who are you? And then they never came back yet.
But it's scary. It is scary.
It was scary at first, but now I know it's not, I don't need to be scared, it's okay, but it freaked me out at first, but I was like, I would like to hear that again. So those were my most...
And then you can, and that's the, and what Tyler Henry says and others, you take that ultimately, and if you want to continue that journey, you keep going, you keep practicing.
You've got to practice and practice.
And I do believe we are supposed to go visit them. It's much easier for us to go than they.
Wow. See,
they are
that's
not.
really, I've never heard that concept before because we always try to, like, we'll say, oh, the mediums or something, we have to raise our frequency and they have to lower theirs to come here, but we can go over there. And so.
And people always say, oh, do you receive any signs? Why is this a one-way communication?
Right. Yeah, we're looking for feathers and coins and all this stuff,
We are supposed to go and raise our frequency and vibration, go through, shift the brain, find a way to go through to that. My way is not the only way. There's many. This is just one way. It's whatever works for everyone. Whether it's a shaman journey, whether it's meditation, going to see a medium or psychic that you trust, that they are skilled. Not necessarily. I don't see it as a gift because I believe, Marla, everyone has access to this, but you have to keep. It's almost like a skill that you have to train yourself on, and then the world opens. What happened to me? The first time it happened, it was a 19-year-old boy. 19, he's not a boy, but, and he told me his name, and he told me how old he was, and this was the first time. I freaked out, and I woke up, and it was so fast and so clear, and I remember thinking to myself, if there are real mediums and psychics out there, this is like reading a newspaper.
Right.
They need to receive information that well and that fast. Because that, I don't have to say, is it a B, is it a C, does it look, I'll say, this is who he was, this is how old he was, this is what he told me, and I don't have to even translate that. This was immediate.
Wow.
It was that fast for Marla. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about bringing something back from the other side.
Oh, okay. This was not the most scary, not the most worrisome or risk taking exercise, because even asking people to go through the doorway was hard. But the object, the reason why I wanted people to find something there and then without looking. So when I say there, I mean when people read the book, every chapter will take you into a journey deeper and deeper into those dimensions. I think, I don't remember which chapter it is, but second step, after we connect with our, I call it the super watcher self, our higher self, and we travel that dimension through that higher self, I say, look around you there, where you are, and find something. This is the most fascinating thing. And Marla, you can use this for matchmaking. I mean, this is like really, this is why I went to find death and I found life. This is the most exciting, fun, blissful exercise of the whole class. Even though meeting with the person you love is extraordinary, but this was fun. So people look around and people found things. But all of them said, oh, my object, how in the world am I going to find this in real life? It's weird. I didn't expect to find, I don't know, headphones or like items that, I'll show you what my object is. I keep a version of it here.
Okay.
This was, and it's in the book, and there's stories in the book further down. This was my object. And it was very strange. And I said, my kids are 16 and 18 years old. We don't have rubber duckies. It was a rubber ducky. Yellow rubber ducky in the house. I haven't seen one in a year.
I have one in my shower. I keep it there, and just as a little. I think it's cute. I keep one on the ledge.
Well, since this class a year and a half ago, everywhere I go I find them. But I looked at it and I came back and I told the class, because we all shared our objects, and my object was this rubber ducky, and I said, well, I don't know where I'm going to find it. Why did I see that? But I haven't seen one in years, so you're going to feel, when you look for your object, you're going to see something that you didn't expect. This is important. So 3 or 4 days in, I actually opened this document in my computer where I go for images, and right at the top, there's a big rubber ducky. I don't know how it got there. I have no idea. So I share this with the class.
Okay.
And from that moment forward, so this journey becomes enhanced a million times with a collective journey. Okay. I'll tell my class that I found it in my rubber ducky, and for the next few weeks, everyone was finding rubber duckies. So much so that I had to spend like $2,000 sending everyone a silver rubber ducky necklace from the class.
Oh.
Because Marla, it was such an exceptional journey, and there was this student, this amazing woman in the UK. She got she bought a tub for her bathroom. She was one that wasn't sure that this worked. Like she wasn't seeing very much. She got this tub for her house and opens, and right at the bottom of the tub, a small rubber ducky was waiting for her in the UK.
So to clarify for the audience, so you were over there and you saw a rubber ducky over on the other side, in the other dimension.
Yes.
And then everybody starts seeing rubber duckies.
So you find your object, you see your object.
You saw an object, and then you start seeing it. But there, in your book, there was one woman who saw a necklace and found it, or was it a necklace?
Yes, the necklace. She was in a airport or a hotel behind it. Like it was like she handed it back into the reception for the person who found it.
So she saw a certain necklace in the other dimension. Then she saw it somewhere, the same necklace, under a chair or something. Or
yeah. And she
turned it in to Lost and Found.
So many stories like that, Marla. And some of them. So when people find them by accident,
right?
Can you imagine? Imagine you see something in your temple.
Yeah.
And you bring it back and you say, okay. And I ask everyone, do not look for it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't work like that.
Mm-hmm. You'll just see it. Yeah.
And when you do, here's why we do this exercise. When your brain understands that what is in the invisible world is connected with the physical experience, everything changes.
So, like when we hear about those Indian yogis or whatever they are, masters who like bring diamonds out of the air, those jewels, they're jewels out of the air, or things coming.
I haven't heard of that.
That reminds me of that, right?
Well, yeah. We create our physical reality through the hologram, right?
Yeah.
Through the. So you know how religion and Christianity and all these religions believe in these heavens. Mm-hmm. Actually, that from a quantum mechanics point of view, that place exists. It's the second dimensional place of light. That's where we all kind of live in.